Hey, what's up, family? Thank you for coming back and joining me. If you haven't been here before, my name is Ivy Ivana. You can call me Ivy or V for short. And thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing my YouTube channel. So, today I wanted to talk about why I stepped away from New Age spirituality and went back to what I know best is Jesus Christ, right? So I got chills. I got the chills because this is a testimony right here, and I hope it can help others. I know nowadays the New Age spirituality is like it's being stuffed down our throats. It's like everyone is doing it, and it's just now it seems like in 2024 a lot of people is forgetting about God, who the actual source creator is, and we all know that is the Lord and his son Jesus Christ. So a few reasons why I got out of new age spirituality is because, first and foremost, I knew where I came from. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but instead I just was like, I need to find something. It just, before I go into the reasons why, just let me tell you my story on how I got into New Age spirituality and why I got out of it. So I started New Age spirituality probably about 4 years ago, and I was going through some times, like I was going through a bad breakup, right? And it was just like all I knew was the Lord, and at the time I did not feel the Lord present, and I just needed something. I felt like I needed something to help me. So first I started getting to meditations, right? And then now first I'm meditating, and then the meditations turned into me trying to find some type of spell work, let's just say. I know, all right, don't judge me here. Don't judge me. But I started trying to find like spell work. So I started getting into the 7 African powers, and then I started getting into different stuff, and I just started putting my hands in stuff a little bit at a time. I was looking into the voodoo stuff, and it was just like I was just putting my hands into everything. And then I finally found the New Age spirituality, and I was buying stones, I was meditating. I went to go see a woman that I went to go speak to a woman that did fortune telling and all this other stuff. And then I got into the tarot cards, and then I just started doing things for self. Now I felt like I was controlling myself. I was controlling what happened to me, what didn't happen to me. And I feel like we do that anyway, but more of in a spiritual way, right? I started meditating, and I started talking with spirits, and I started burning candles and doing all kinds of stuff, right? And it was working for me, like no lie. Like it literally started working for me. I started seeing the progress, how things started changing for me for the better. I started conjuring up things and making things, like I said, happen for me. And I remember this one story where I'm going to tell you, right? I remember when I was meditating one day, and I meditated a couple times, right? And on this day, I was meditating, and I seen this, excuse me. Oh, auntie, you just messed me up. Excuse me. I was meditating one day, and I seen this goddess, right? I had this goddess necklace piece. My aunt brought it for me. It was really expensive. It had And it was a purple stone. What's that stone called? Amethyst, excuse me. It had amethyst stone on it, and it had like a rhino horn, and it was pretty cool. Like, it looked really nice, and it was expensive. Then it had hair from a wolf, or you know what I'm saying. It was a pretty interesting piece. That's how I can say it. So one day I started meditating with this piece, and I also started listening to like some type of shaman music or whatever. And this one day I'm listening to it and I'm meditating with it. I'm laying down and I have it on my chest and I'm in my meditations, and I see this woman in a red dress. She had this beautiful curly, it was just big hair, but she also had horns, right? And again, this could have been just my figment of my imagination, a figment of my imagination. But I literally seen this woman, or this whatever it was. Like I said, she had a red dress on. She had pretty nice hair. I didn't see a face, but she had like this burgundy hair, and she had horns, right? And I literally was meditating to this. I seen it. I don't want to go more into it, but that's what I seen, right? And then from there, I met this guy, and this guy came into my life, and he started helping me with things, and he started traveling with me, and he just started showing me things, showing me life, fun stuff. And just like I said, I was getting everything I wanted, right? Everything. And then I started getting into tarot cards, and then I started, you get what I'm saying. So basically, like, I was just putting my hands in so much stuff, and then I was getting everything I wanted, but then it started getting dark. I was seeing spirits. I started seeing things just, run across my eyes. Like, those white spirits that I seen that was good, they started getting dark. You feel me? They started getting dark. And I just started feeling uneasy, right? I just started feeling so uneasy. Whew. You can see the chills coming from me. Just uneasiness, in my life. And I started doing things where I was getting money, but it wasn't the right way. And like you said, I was asking for stuff and I was getting it. But I remember another time where I was meditating and it asked me to sacrifice something. What am I going to sacrifice? You feel me? What am I sacrificing? I said, what? Some meat and some soda? That's it. That's all I'm going to sacrifice, is not eating meat and not eating soda or whatever. Not drinking soda. You feel me? So I did just that. It asked for a sacrifice. And at first it said like a chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, the enemy was coming so hard, or that negative spirit was coming at me so hard, that it wanted me to sacrifice something. Meat? Soda? Like, what you want me to sacrifice? So I stopped eating meat, and I just, stopped a lot of stuff, right? And I realized I was getting sick. I stopped eating. Like, I literally was losing weight. I was just looking sick. I was looking real sick. And it was this one day where I ended up taking mushrooms. Oh, I did. I indulged in some mushrooms, and it wasn't my first or second time or whatever. And no, guys, it wasn't the drugs. I do want to tell you that, right? So one day I took some mushrooms by myself, and I got into talking with the Lord. And for some reason, something told me to open the Bible. And I opened the Bible and I started reading. And remind you, my grandfather had passed away probably not even too long before that. Like a few weeks before I started this. So my grandfather, I opened up the Bible and I started reading, and it was this sound. It sounded like it came from such a different dimension. It just came out of nowhere. And it said, "There you go. There you go." and it sounded like my grandfather. You see what I'm saying? That voice sounded just like my grandfather. And it just came from out, just, I can't explain it, but it was just a voice that came through many dimensions. It was like I can't explain it. I can't, but this is what I heard. And from that day, I started getting more into my Bible. I spoke to a woman right after, like a few days later, and she was like a fortune teller. And she told me all kinds of stuff. I was gonna have 7 kids, and I was gonna meet a guy, his name gonna start with an S, and first or last name, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? So, but these were just things she was telling me. And she told me that I was gonna do something bad, right? In a few days. So, like I said, I was doing certain things that I wasn't supposed to have been doing, right? And it wasn't of God, it wasn't right. So then that day, this day had came, and I did something. And it scared the bejesus out of me. Like, when I say it scared me so bad, like, I threw away a lot of shit. I threw away a lot of stuff, excuse me. And I just stopped. I knew right here, right now, this is time. It's stopped. It's done. So I was at work one day, and I was looking for a second job. And I applied for so many jobs, right? And a job finally had called me, but then I don't remember applying for this job, and it was a custodian job on the weekends at a church. I never remember applying to this job. So I went for the interview, I ended up getting the job, and now I am a custodian. Easy money. I'm just there, opening the doors for the soccer teams and stuff to come in, and I had the whole sanctuary to myself, like the whole church. And it was scary. Like, at first, like, I wasn't going in there because I knew, like, if I go in there, like, I'm burning up, right? But then I went in there, and I dropped down to my knees out of nowhere. Like, I sat there for a little bit, and then I ended up I walked up to the aisle, and I got on my knees, and I prayed, and I just started bursting out in tears, right? And remind you, I didn't go into this sanctuary for several weeks because I knew that I was doing wrong, and I knew that God was mad at me. So, make long story short, I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, but I'm also trying to, so anyways, make long story short, I got on my knees, I started bawling out, crying, I'm praying, and next thing you know, I just feel better now. I just feel like all this weight, all this, just this heaviness, all this darkness was just lifted from me. And I went home, and I kind of put all that stuff up. Mind you, I was also reading tarot cards, and I was like, spirit was coming to me and actually giving me answers to people, and they were coming true for other people. And I let all that stuff go. I put it away. I was like, I'm not touching that. So I started getting more into the Bible. I started working more at this church, and, just sitting in a sanctuary by myself. And next thing I know, it's just like Jesus is reigning. I'm just getting covered all in the blood of Jesus. You feel me? So now I no longer NewAge. I just threw all that stuff away, even though I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all this stuff, stones, tarot cards, all kinds of stuff, spending hundreds of dollars, hundreds and hundreds, and yes, you get it, exactly, so much on this stuff. And I just end up throwing all this stuff away because I knew it wasn't of God. So that's why I stopped NewAge spirituality. All right. And that's the reason why I stopped. And because I knew it wasn't what God wanted. I knew it wasn't from where I came from or what I was raised. And I know now also from what I was raised on, it was just like a forceful thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is it. Like, I still have certain beliefs. And at the end of the day, that's just how I feel. I'm not perfect. I am at times lukewarm, but when I'm on, I'm on. And then sometimes I fall off. Hey, I'm human. But I know, God is trying to get me to that point, right? Like I said, I started seeing demons. I started seeing all that light, that white stuff that I started seeing, it started turning dark. It just started turning dark. I started seeing dark spirits just walking around me, and it was getting so scary. Like, I was so scared. Like, I literally just one day, and I had got on my knees and I prayed for this stuff. God, Lord, forgive me, because I knew what I was doing was so bad, right? And like I said, I felt the pull back to Christ. I just felt that pull, and me getting this phone call out of nowhere, and it was a job. It was a job working at the church, and what a coincidence. No, that wasn't a coincidence, baby. That was God. That was the Lord. He like, baby, come home, baby. We need you. And it's the truth. God needed me because I have now helped people, even in my lukewarm stage. I have helped people find their way back to Christ. Even some, like my best friend, she's a sweet girl to me. She was on. That's how me and her met, through New Age spirituality. And I did a tarot card reading on her and told her she was pregnant. And come to find out, she was pregnant with twins. I didn't get the twin part right, but but that's why it's just not right. It's just not right. God is the way and the only way. Period. That's it. All right. And the last thing, and overall, like I said, New Age wasn't for me. New Age is not of God. New Age isn't God. And now I know God, who God is, and where he's trying to take me. So, to those who are in New Age spirituality, I don't knock you. You do what you want to do. I can't judge you. Only God can judge you on that day. But those who was in that way and now is out of it, I congratulate you, because not everyone makes it out of the New Age spirituality and back to Christ. So I hope this maybe helps someone. If you can, make sure you get back in your Bibles. When you can, make sure. Maybe follow somebody on YouTube that can help. And however way God is sending you or pushing you, let him do that. Be free of that. Be free for him to push you that way, because it ain't easy. So I hope this video maybe helps someone. Hope y'all heard me out. If you like what you heard, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next. Love me, love you later. Bye.